I don't know how to make this video, and it seems like the universe doesn't want me to make it, but continuing the trend of last video, I have more life updates for you guys that I wanted to share. And before I even get into the updates, I want to give a huge thank you to everybody that commented or even just watched the last video I put out. I took a huge hiatus, came back, and received a bunch of support and a lot of really supportive messages. People who've been in my shoes, who are currently there, and people that overcame it. And I know I say this all the time, but I do read the comments, and every comment that was left really helped me just navigate the situation a little bit better. I know in that last video I kind of seemed down or in a weird headspace, but I really wasn't. It was just coming to the realization that I could do so much more, but I was using a lot of the excuses that were available to me to not do what I could do. And now that I realize that and can't keep lying to myself about it, I need to actually do what is required of me. And you know, I'm glad to know that a lot of people relate and see where I'm coming from and don't just think that like I'm being a bum, because that's not really my intentions with any of these videos. But with the thank yous out the way, let's get into the biggest life update since the California trip. I started a new job, and it's not a super amazing job, but you've probably heard a lot of bad things about this job. I am an Amazon delivery driver. I would say that this job is one step above working from Amazon directly, at least the warehouse. I've heard some nightmares of the warehouse and working at Amazon as like a direct employee, but being a delivery driver, I don't technically work for Amazon. There's this huge rabbit hole that I went down once I started this job, and I'm essentially just like a contractor that works for a logistic company that delivers Amazon's packages, meaning Amazon doesn't have to give me benefits or do anything. My logistic company does. And I guess on the bright side of all of it, even though I am working as an Amazon delivery driver, my company that I'm working under is pretty chill. I get guaranteed tens, I get health insurance, which a lot of people said was not common, and I don't really hate my coworkers. There is a story I am going to say about one of my coworkers when I started the job, but it's not anything bad, just more so eye-opening and funny. But yeah, I was kind of, I don't know how to say it, ashamed to tell you guys that I took this job, but then the more I thought about it, like I've done pizza delivery, roofing, I've worked a bunch of odd jobs in my life, and I don't think that I'm above anybody else or that I'm too good for something. I don't look down on delivery drivers, and you know, shout out to everybody, because now that I've done this job, it's not easy. Going from doing whatever I want to having to deliver 150 plus stops of packages a day, sometimes over 300 packages, kind of let me know that this is not a job for the weak. It's not a job for anybody, really. If you don't have to do it, I would not recommend it. But if you're in a place where you need to recalibrate or build towards something bigger, I would say maybe try it out. You get a bunch of cardio, and that's really the main selling point of this job. Everyone just tells you you're getting paid to work out. That's probably the biggest selling point, because everything else can sometimes feel too stressful. You have to load up your own carts, and all your routes, especially starting out, are pretty different because you're the new person on the block. I know for Georgia, there's a lot of rural routes, and that's kind of what my Amazon facility takes care of, more of the northern rural areas. And sometimes it's really easy, and then sometimes it's really sketchy. While I've never had to deliver at night because I'm pretty quick, I've realized that that's kind of not the best thing to be in a job like this, because the quicker you are, the more work you'll end up getting. But so far, I'm quick enough to avoid nighttime, but I still maximize the amount of hours that I get. And I can tell you that other than nighttime deliveries, the number one most stressful part of this job has to be the dogs, because they don't always pop up when you expect them. Like on the Flex app, the thing that Amazon uses to help you deliver your packages, people can put labels that there are dogs there, whether they be outside or in the house. They'll just tell you to beware of dogs so you can keep your senses heightened. And for the most part, this will save you. Most houses that have beware of dog, you'll be able to snap, maybe honk the horn and get the dog to pop out, or hear if it's in the house. But it's always the houses that have no mention of a dog that are the ones that are kind of the most worrying, especially when you're delivering on these rural routes with super long driveways and people that don't want you to trespass and have two-way flags all over their homes. I don't know who's scarier, the pit bull that the owner leaves out all day, or the owner that's telling me that if I pass this line, he's not afraid to pop me. Crazy that you even order packages when you have 17 no trespassing signs in front of your house. But yeah, a dog will randomly pop out when you least expect it. Sometimes they're friendly, and if you know how to handle dog encounters, they will usually go smooth. But 9 times out of 10, these dogs are meant to protect the property they're on, so there's not too much friendliness going on. Luckily for the DSP, the company that I work for, they have a strict dog policy, and if you see a dog outside that is not leashed or has any chance of even reaching you, you don't have to deliver that package. So I don't risk it unless I know for sure that this dog is going to be like super chill or the owner's outside. Even with the owner outside, it's kind of 50-50 because a lot of owners don't know how to control their dogs, but it's a delivery job. There's not too many interesting parts about the job. I pretty much spend the entire day solo just delivering these packages, trying to finish early so I can leave and maybe study or do my other things that I need to get done. And so far, it's not peaked, so I actually do have a lot of time to leave early and do my own thing. It's a very free job. If freedom is worth more than benefits, then you might like this job, because depending on how fast you work, or again, what company you work for, you can get away with working 4 hours a day and getting paid for 10. The AI that calculates the route might punish you by giving you more deliveries because they see you're so fast, but if you have the right company, you can actually finesse the system by getting off earlier than you're supposed to. I know it's ironic that the guy who made a 20+ minute video talking about worker rights and how we need to fight for them and how we don't have them anymore and why you should be cautious of the trades push has went to work for Amazon. But I promise you guys, this was not in my plans before it happened. But like I said, I decided to start my winter arc early, and with peak season coming around, I know they're gonna have me working like a dog, but I heard that the pay is decent. It pays more in overtime than a lot of other jobs, and maybe that's just the cope that I'm telling myself, but I don't really plan to be there for too long after peak. Like a lot of people who have worked for Amazon or Amazon delivery, I'm definitely trying to use this as a launch pad into something better down the line. Like I told you guys, I want to get back into education of some sort, whether that's taking classes at the local college or if it's just diving head straight into the certification test. And I need money for either of those. While I've made money in unemployment, it's getting to the point to where I'm cutting more into my savings and my safety net than anything else, and I don't like that. And I'm definitely going to be looking for a better job while I do this one. I think I've adjusted to the job physically, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting about 8 to 10 miles of cardio a day, and at first, like the first 2 weeks, my body was super sore from it, but now that I'm a little bit more than a month in, my body doesn't really hurt anymore. And that's kind of been the biggest cheat code, is having a decent diet and making sure that you take care of your body so you don't feel the effects the next day. This made me way better by getting my sleep, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually seeing the results in like my physical appearance. I'm looking more toned because I'm walking a crazy amount. But at the end of the day, this is a dead end job. There's really no other way to put it. It's not like UPS where you're unionized and you're topping out at $40 an hour after like 4 years. It's not a good job like that, don't get me wrong, but the pay is decent. You're not carrying the heavy boxes like FedEx and UPS have to, and for the most part, if your company is good, that is probably the biggest caveat of all of this. It's pretty chill. The team that I work with, we don't really interact too much. We have a morning meeting, then we go off to load the trucks and we deliver, and I might catch them when we leave. A lot of them are pretty cool and they're on the same time that I'm on. There's even a guy there who does a TikTok channel, and it's not like a small TikTok channel. I think bro does like food reviews and it's pretty big, but he told me that he's in between moving places and he needs a more stable job until he can get back up and running. But I find it so crazy that in the time of me trying to find my path, there's a bunch of people who are also navigating their lives in real time. With that being said, not everybody is as chill as that coworker, and that leads me to the story that I want to tell you guys about. On my first day riding with a veteran driver with this new company, they sat me with this person and told me, hey, you're going to be with her all day. She's going to show you the rope. And I kind of thought that this would be the easiest day. Like I would more so be, learning pointers or tips on how to go faster on the route. But instead, the veteran driver essentially just had me do the entire job while they scrolled on their phone and played DJ the entire trip. I had never delivered packages before this. I've never worked for a delivery job. And I was hoping, hey, they're going to let me know how to unpack the totes or the crates that all the packages comes in, how to get it like done the fastest, what type of order. No, they handed me the morning checklist with all the packages that I would be on my truck, and they did not help me the entire day. And to add even more insult to injury, I let them do the Bluetooth because I didn't want to put my music on the first day. Like, I don't know this person, I don't know what they like. They were well into their 40s, so I knew that they weren't going to listen to the same type of music as me, and I was hoping maybe they listen to some jazz or some oldies, because you can really never go wrong with that music. But this is what I get for being nice randomly. Once they get on the Bluetooth and play the playlist playlist that we're going to be listening to for the entire day of delivery from about 12:30 to 9:30 some days. The first 10 songs on the playlist, I kid you not, are AI country music. And I really wish I was lying, but it was AI country music. And you could tell it was AI because it was 17 different songs, but all the singers sounded the same. And then sprinkled in between the AI country and gospel music would be like hardcore metal. I mean, I'm not judging hardcore or any genre. I mean, listen to what you listen to, but I'm pretty sure that the music that they listen to, even the hardcore music, was all AI. And they're in their 40s. Like, this is not even boomer brain rot. This is just Gen X brain rot. And the playlist felt like it kept going forever. And I remember she would say the weirdest thing when a regular R&B song comes on, like an old school 90s love song. It would start playing on the Bluetooth, and the first thing she would say before she skipped the song is, "Oh, this is not delivery music, this is bedroom music." Like, bro, I'm not even thinking about that. You can play the song and it's not weird until you say something like that. And then the next second, she'll be playing To the Window to the Wall by Lil Jon and act like that's not weird to play in the delivery truck. That day was really stressful and annoying because I was having to do the deliveries, tolerate the AI music, and then hear all these snarky remarks from the veteran driver of how I wasn't driving enough, or I was gonna make them late, or I was just being way too slow on the route. And she didn't just say that to me, like, she's calling up the boss mid-route to tell him that I'm not driving fast enough. Mind you, I'm going the speed limit. These trucks have cameras in them, and anything above 5 miles per hour is pretty much a mark against your record. Like, they record everything. You're literally being videotaped the entire time. But she's wanting me to go 15 over the speed limit and telling me that, no, it's fine, you could do it. I'm just not willing to risk a job that I just got. Like, I'm trying to make this as least stressful as possible. And it's crazy because I went into work that day thinking this is going to be the easy day. I'm just going to be the trainee looking at what the driver does and picking up notes. It was probably the worst day I've had on the job so far. And you know, if you do Amazon delivery, UPS, FedEx, any delivery job, I tip my hat to you, man. It is not an easy job, especially in the heat. Like, some days are hitting 100 plus and it doesn't matter. You have to do your route. You have to do your packages. And some days are easy. Some days are not easy. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I kind of wanted to share this with you guys because at first I felt a little ashamed. Like, I have all this knowledge. I went from a corporate job to now I'm doing Amazon delivery. But like I said, I'm not above anything. And if anything, this is character development. I've met a lot of good people on the job, surprisingly. You deliver to a lot of nice people. You deliver to some dickheads too, like some racist dickheads. But at the end of the day, that's not everybody. That is a small portion of the people you deliver to. And most people see that you're working hard and will go out of their way to make your day a little bit easier. People will offer you drinks. They'll offer you good conversation. And sometimes those little things make your day just good enough to keep you going. Like I said, this is not a permanent thing and hopefully not even a long-term thing. I want to do it for sure, at least until peak is done, so I can just stack up as much money as possible, put money into my investments, and also save for the courses and things that I need to do to move forward. But hopefully after this, I can get back into the tech sector and get a job to start building the skills that I really wanted to like hone in on. I commented this under the last video replying to somebody, but I think my career path that I want to go down and I've always had an interest in is going to be cybersecurity. Maybe becoming a cybersecurity analyst or picking enough skills to where I can dip and dodge in between those fields. I've always had an interest in hacking and learning the inner workings of computers. That's kind of why I started to build them, overclock them, and it never hurts to learn more Linux. I think I've been holding off on that because it can be very complicated, but you know, doing a little bit of tinkering here and there, I'm building my confidence more and more. And I think once I have Linux under my belt, or at least to the point to where I'm comfortable with it, it's going to really help me in my career. I want to go ahead and finish off the trifecta, get my security plus, and I don't know. Amazon was not on my bingo board for this year. No job really was. I mean, every time I was in unemployment and I thought about how I was going to get back into the job field, careers never came to mind. It was just how I was going to finesse long enough to make enough money. But now I'm trying to get a little bit more serious about my future. And I know it's not an easy road. I know this is not an easy step and a lot of people wouldn't take this step. But right now, I feel like this job makes sense for what I want to do. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to see it through. This job is hard, but it's definitely better than roofing. Like I said, that is the worst job I've ever had. And I'll keep you guys updated throughout the entire process. I'm one guy trying to figure out life. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time, but at the same time, I feel like I made good enough decisions to where I can change it if I really try. And I hope that this journey can be a testament testimony to other people in the same situation that even though it requires a lot of effort, it's not impossible. But yeah, we're going to keep the show on the road. There's not too many updates after this. I have a trip to coming up in like a month, a little bit under a month. So we'll have some things to talk about until that point. And when I come back, more stories, awesome stories, right? And I'll also be trying to figure out my upload schedule now that I work about 4 days out the week. And I'm pretty tired when I get off those 4 days. I need to figure out an upload schedule. Never really liked pre-recording videos to upload at set dates. Most of my videos that you guys receive are recorded the night before or sometimes hours before I upload. So it's going to be weird, but I promise to get a better schedule because 5 days in between uploads, it's not what I want to do. Like, I know you guys are very supportive and are just happy that I'm posting still, which means a ton, but you guys subscribed for consistency. And I feel like I was bringing you guys that before the California trip. It's been a little bit harder to get back on the wagon since then, but we'll figure something out soon and there'll be more videos on the channel, I promise. But yeah, if you agreed or disagreed, I don't know what you would disagree with in this video because it's literally just an update, but let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I do read the comments. Have you worked for Amazon or a delivery job? And how is your winter arc shaping up to be? Are you in a good spot? Did the summer put you where you want to be? Or do you need to lock in like me for the winter? If you haven't already, like and subscribe to join the thread. Every subscription feeds my dog a dog treat and that boy's getting fat. So keep making him fatter. With that being said, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.